Good morning, everyone. It is Hump Day, Wednesday, May 18th. Woo, woo. Yeah, we made it to Hump Day. All right. Wow, what crazy little market we have going on. We had a nice little rally, even with the Fed head speaking. We had a lot of Fed speak yesterday, and of course, I don't know, they just seem to want to talk every day, and it kind of throws us for a little bit of a loop. We'll look at that here in a minute, but this is our futures chart. You can see after that rally yesterday on okay volume, I mean, nothing spectacular, but okay volume here compared to the red day before, right? This near doji actually set up that pretty little run yesterday. Today, pulling back in, I'm going to leave this trend line in here, and we will keep a watch and see if that turns out to be some support, but taking a little bit of a break across the markets. So a couple things I think weighing into that. One is probably the rise of the dollar, make things more expensive. But Europe in particular saw a 9% inflation rate. I think that's putting an overall kind of damper on the market, saying, ooh, maybe we haven't hit that inflation peak yet that a lot of people are calling for, that we're kind of at the top now and we're, working our way over the hump. Maybe that's not so true with Europe. Here's my thought on it, though, is Europe usually lags us anyway, so I don't know if I would use that as much of an indicator, but it does appear to be, maybe like what is coming over us here today. So anyway, a little bit of a pullback after yesterday's move. We're also seeing retail earnings coming through, and really Walmart. So Home Depot did okay, but Walmart, Target, Lowe's all weighing on the market here. So just taking a little bit of a break. All right, so let's take a look at the SPY from yesterday. We're going to go in here, take a quick look, and let's try that one more time. There we go. All right, we took our initial little dip, but then we were doing all right, kind of cruising along. Okay, yay, we hit some new highs. And then Powell started speaking. He did not say anything we didn't expect, but he keeps reiterating the same thing, that the need to curb inflation is greatly required. But then once he was done, everybody's like, oh, okay, so it's really just the same thing. Let's resume where we were. Look at that, just right back where we were, and ended up closing not on highs, but pretty darn close to them. Again, coming in today underwater a bit. Okay, let's take a look at oil. So oil yesterday came in really hot, and then all of a sudden pulled back, but then very quickly turned itself around and moved back up and ended the day kind of right where it started. So we have this doji sitting in here. Today, the futures opened up down, but now pushing up, and I think we'll see some nice moves in some of those names, larger oil names and the XLE, because as China opens up, the demand for oil is going to increase. So I would really lean on some of those like XLE or maybe Chevron. XLE is actually pretty reasonable price, XOM. So stick to those names. I'll be looking to the XLE, but CVX does play really well, and that actually made the list today. So let's pop over to Chevron here. Look at this. We did make a high yesterday before pulling back in. It's top of the candle. Just broke that triple top there. I like CVS longer. Again, energy is not looking to let up, even if we take little dips and breaks. So looking at the 617 CVX 175 call, I would like to enter that at 174.85. I'm going to stop at 172.60. Strong sector breaking to new highs. So my initial target is the high from yesterday, and then a breakout. Now again, a little bit cheaper, go to the XLE. And I'll show you here where you can do that. So I would enter on the close of yesterday. Let me see where we are right now. We're above that. So look for a little bit of a pullback, or look for a touchback candle, maybe the 3 squeezing with the 8, or the candle touching the 8 for an entry, because we are above this. Typically, I would like to use either the close of this candle or the high of this candle for an entry, but we are bumping above that here. We're at 84.60 already. So look for a 5-minute setup in XLE for entry, and I would play the 617.85s. Okay, let's pop on over to another name. We talked about the drug sector yesterday. Names like Lilly, Merck, right? All doing well. PFE, nice close over the 50. So all of these doing well. Well, I chose Abbott Labs, and here is why. Abbott has been in the news. That move yesterday was more news driven on baby formula, and I can tell you, just a week ago, people were asking me, "Are you having problems?" I was like, "No, not at all. I'm not having any problems." I went to order baby formula last night, and guess what? None to be had. Absolutely none. And Baby E takes a special formula, very specific formula because of some sensitivities that he has. And yeah, so now I'm kind of scrambling. What do? I buy them 4 at a time as it is. And we all know that it is not cheap. And I will tell you this, although because he's a foster, he is eligible for WIC. WIC is very specific. You can only have a certain one. So we've been paying out of pocket to get one that actually works for him. Yeah, see, there you go. That is my little spiel this morning. Sorry, quite the tangent. But anyway, Abbott Labs came online and said, okay, the FDA had the reason that they had a shutdown at a facility was an FDA issue. So we need the FDA to say, yes, it's okay, come on. Well, they're looking at that. We got some news about that yesterday. They're going to bring that facility back online and kind of help ease the constraints. So Abbott does make name brands, but they also produce a lot of those like store brands, so like the Target brand, right? So look at that. I like the look of Abbott here. We did close above the 20, just shy of that 34. I like the move to the 50. All that being said, coming back here, the 115 call. I would like to enter this at 115.54, so it is just in the money. If you want to push that out a little bit, obviously, certainly do so. If it comes back below the 20, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. But I want it on the close, so it can dip. I just want it to close above the 20. My targets are 117.20, 118.50, and then 120.85 there in Abbott. All right, so last one is a put play. CRM Salesforce clearly working with this downtrend here. We've got these touches to the 8, touch to the 8, broke through, failed, broke through, failed, and looking for more downside here into earnings. So earnings is coming up, so this would not be a long play, but I'm looking at the 160 put. I would enter again in the money. This one's just out of the money, sorry. 163.73 would be my entry, and I would stop if it gets in a close above that 8. My target's 158.24 and then down to 154.64, which is the low. So we already talked about XLE, other bullish looking charts. Merck, talked about that one. Lilly, talked about that one. BA, talked about BA yesterday. So they had news out, and this is, it's terrible news, but good for Boeing, I guess. So they are looking at the Eastern China flight that went down in March, and it looks as though it was not a mechanical or plane issue, but it was a person issue. And go look up the story. It is widely reported at this point that they believe it was an intentional grounding of that plane. Boeing saw a nice little bump on that, and Boeing, oh my goodness, ridiculously oversold. Now, it can stay in those conditions for incredibly long periods, but it is Boeing, and we'll see. The management has to make a change. The board has to make a change to force Boeing into making this company really the great company that it is and can be. We rely on Boeing for, not just to get us around on planes, whether you're sitting on a Southwest flight, but militarily, it is an incredibly important business for them to not manage properly. So all that being said, I like the idea of an entry down here, and maybe building a longer term position. I don't actually trade it for some other reasons, but I think this is something, if you want to look at this look at Boeing, I think it would be a good one here. Okay, so anyway, that's Boeing, and then this is more my style. Camping World Holdings, love the RV life. Look at this. So it made some pretty crappy lows here not too long ago. They're past earnings, But now we're getting all of this consolidation right here on some increasing volume. And look at this. We have 1, 2, 3. I'll count that one too. And bringing us just above all of these candles. So I like this, this triple top, looking for a break through the triple top there on CWH for continued movement, nice squeeze of moving averages and above that point of control. So there's just a few I'm watching today. If you have any questions, reach out, heatherc@givingtreetrading.com. Have an awesome Wednesday.